It can be argued, soundly argued actually, that nothing is more uncommon than common sense. As a matter of fact, people commonly try to disregard or keep themselves from having to answer logical questions and confront logical answers by calling other people conspiracy theorists, or if you're on the right, you're a leftist libtard, or if you're on the left, calling somebody a conservative cuck. But sidestepping argumentation like that only reveals that you don't have an argument, which leads us to this video right here. Please do yourself a favor and don't write this video off as, oh, you're a leftist liberal libtard, you don't know what you're talking about, you're just against Trump because you're an anti-Trumper, you're a never Trumper. Guys, it's not about what I feel about Donald Trump. It's not that I think Hillary Clinton is a criminal. It's not that I think Bill Clinton is a pedophile. These are just all truths. Hillary Clinton is a criminal. Bill Clinton is a womanizing pedophile. Jeffrey Epstein is, not was, is a pedophile. Dennis Hastert, who was second in line to the presidency because he was the Speaker of the House, was, in the judge's words, a serial child molester. Second in line to the President of the United States. Politicians are parasites. Left, right, it doesn't matter. I'm not on Team Red. I'm not on Team Blue. I'm on Team Freedom, Team Liberty, Team Leave Me the Hell Alone, Team No one has the right to initiate unjust force and violence on peaceful people who haven't done anything wrong. Team, nobody has a higher claim over your life and property than you. That's where I stand, and that's why I made this video. Okay, I want to try to make this video pretty short, but there's an interesting statement that was under my last video, which is entitled, "This is very bad, why aren't Trump fans talking about this?" First of all, I just want to give kind of a loose definition, an appropriate definition, but loose nonetheless, because you're not going to see this in any dictionary. But if you were to define cognitive dissonance, I would define it as the deceptive practice maybe of holding fast to and believing two contradictory thoughts or ideas in your mind at the same time. It's kind of a self-justification to make you feel better about yourself and enable you to live with your own hypocrisy. For example, I want to be healthy, but I know these cigarettes that I smoke every day are robbing me of my health, but I'm going to keep on smoking anyway. Or I want to be safe and free, and I believe politicians are going to keep us safe and free, even though I know they're criminals and they'll do anything but keep us safe and free. But I'm going to still vote for them. So I often look under videos and read the comment section because I think it's very instructive to find out what people are saying, just the general public is saying about certain issues and certain politicians. So Mary Solarski puts a comment under my last video. It says, "Y'all need to see this comment section. Yep, another cult of personality exercise." And she puts this link right here, and this link goes to this video right here, which is the full speech of President Trump addressing the police chiefs at that conference in Chicago, which is what my last video was talking about the individual rights trampling phrases and things that Trump was talking about militarized police force, pre-crime bills that are going to be coming down the pike from William Barr. So this is, of course, a Fox affiliate out of Phoenix, and it's going to draw a more conservative crowd. Now, I don't care if you're conservative or liberal, Republican or Democrat, or as I like to call them, Republicrats or Demoplicans. They're both two wings of the same bird, guys. We've all been tricked. We've all been deceived. We've all been divided by the two-party political establishment system, which is run by the Zionist international banking cartel. We should all know this by now. We're all being just played. But here's generally what people think about this individual rights trampling speech that glorifies law enforcers. All a law enforcer is a state functionary who's looking out for the interests of pedophile politicians, and that is it. When you call yourself a law enforcer, you're a policy enforcer. Who makes the policies? Politicians make the policies. That's all you are, is a protector of the policies of politicians. And let's face it, they're all individual rights tramplers. They've all taken an oath to uphold the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and they've become the biggest enemies of the Constitution, specifically the Second Amendment and the Fourth Amendment. And now with this federalized police force idea, this militarized police force, the 10th Amendment, which is supposed to draw a distinction between federal and state functionalities, and that's not going to work. It never does. Like Lysander Spooner said, whether the Constitution be one thing or another, this much is certain. It has either authorized such a government as we have, and that's a corrupt government, or it's been unable to stop it. In either case, it's unfit to exist. So this guy says, best president ever in my 67 years, Lord Jesus bless America. Best president trampling individual rights. I don't care if it's Obama. I call him drone bomb ya, or I'll bomb ya. Obama got us into the greatest amount of national debt you could possibly imagine, and yet there are people still checked into his cult of personality thinking that he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It doesn't matter if it was Obama, it doesn't matter if it's Bush, it doesn't matter if it's a Bill Clinton, it doesn't matter if Hillary Clinton became president. They're all working for the international banking cartel. And to say somebody's the best president ever after you listen to a speech where he literally is laying down plans to criminalize Americans for crimes they have not yet committed is completely brain dead. It's a tyrannical move. And basically, if you're applauding that kind of president, you're applauding tyranny. Can you please show the crowd? We'd love to see them too. Well, the crowd is made up of this International Association of Chiefs of Police. It's a bunch of criminals in the crowd, criminals in uniform. The guys at the very top, the chiefs of police. You know, a stream can rise no higher than its source, so you can't expect police officers under the police chief to be any better than the chief. And these people are really a gang of thugs. They're a criminal cartel with a monopoly on force and violence in your town. Trump will not sugarcoat anything. He will call as he sees it, but he's trampling on individual rights. Out of one side of his mouth, he says he's the greatest protector of the Second Amendment. On the other side of his mouth, he says, I like take the guns first, due process second. You saw it in my last video. If you missed it, I'll leave a link. Please help us take our city back, Mr. President Trump. How do you take a city back when you initiate regulations and laws of pre-crime, like the red flag laws or the TAPS Act, the Threat Assessment Protection and Safety Act, which does everything but protect you? It tramples on your Fourth Amendment rights. It takes away your due process. It charges you with pre-crime. You become a criminal and you haven't even committed a crime yet, but they predict that you're going to commit a crime in the future. So they violate your Fourth Amendment and Second Amendment rights. They come into your house against your will, take your guns, take your property. It's utterly disgusting. Be safe to all of our law enforcement, praying for our police and appreciate them and their families. What do you appreciate about them? That they're state functionaries, acting as nothing more than revenue generators? That's all they are. They're the strong arm of the political law. That's all they are. We really need all the men and women that get up every day and wear the badge. You mean that badge and that uniform that grants special rights? That's how they act. They act as sovereign citizens above even their own law. You guys have seen my videos. You've seen the multiple videos on YouTube. These aren't rare events. Bad cops are not rare. They're in the majority, a vast majority. Communists in blue cities and states are subverting the rule of law. What is that? Rule of law. What is this blue cities and states? Blue, red? Doesn't matter what team you're on. If you're for the rule of law, you're for the policies of politicians that are literally there to do two things: to transfer power from the people to you and take away your wealth. That's what laws do. They strip you of your money and your freedoms. Are you really for the rule of law as a means of subverting the nation? The rule of law subverts the nation. Yeah, blue, they're checked out. Red, they're checked out. They're all in the cult of personality, working against the individual rights and freedoms of Americans. But the rule of the law does the same thing. It's a fiction. It's imaginary. Police, more often than not, are the bravest of all of us. No, they are not. They wear Kevlar vests. They have multiple enforcers backing them up. They're heavily armed. They're constantly going against the public who are unarmed, shooting people like Daniel Shaver, Unarmed Daniel Shaver in that hall of that La Quinta Inn in Mesa, Arizona. You remember him. Philando Castile reaching for his wallet to show that he has a license to carry a firearm and the guy just unloads on him. No reason at all. James Boyd, Kelly Thomas, the list goes on and on, guys. Unarmed people, bravest of us all. No, actually, they're the weakest of us all. Why? Because they're heavily armed, they have body armor, they have backup, and a monopoly on force, and still they're scared of little kids running away from them. Remember that kid just recently got tagged in the back of the head running away from the cops? He was unarmed, but the cops said he feared for his life. How's that bravest of us all? That's not brave. So guys, this video is going on longer than I anticipated, but in comment after comment after comment, you'll read nothing but words of commendation and not condemnation. If Trump only said one thing wrong, if he only said, I'm going to pull out $600 million to militarize your hometown police force, that's enough to say this guy does not care about the Constitution. He doesn't care about the freedoms of Americans. And yet people will turn a blind eye to that. If Obama said that, oh my God, they'd be off the couch and out the front door and protesting down the streets. If Hillary said what he said in this speech, oh God, there'd be hell to pay. If Bush, if Nixon, if anybody but President Trump said it, they would take up arms, be ready to tar and feather the bastard. But because it's Trump, he can say no wrong. And you will never hear one word come out of their mouths in condemnation of him. Guys, the reason I'm not for Donald Trump, I'm not a Democrat. This guy's a Democrat saying he's a Republican. He likes take the guns first, due process second. And you're going to stand behind and support that? I call all you guys out who support anti-Second Amendment Donald Trump, anti-Fourth Amendment Donald Trump, pro-red flag law Donald Trump. Yeah, I lose subscribers when I say this kind of stuff, guys. And you can expect to lose friends and subscribers when you just stand firm on liberty. Democrats, you're out to lunch. You're insane. Republicans, you're out to lunch. You're insane. There's no difference. Two wings of the same bird of prey. And you're in the same two-party establishment system that has been here for decades and decades and decades and isn't going anywhere. And it's controlled by the Zionist international banking cartel that controls our fiat currency Ponzi scheme that's about to collapse. And you're not going to wake up because you're too busy standing, sitting, and kneeling in the church of the cult of personality. And you got to get out. If you enjoy these videos, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. And I'll see you guys in the next heavily censored shadow ban video.